I checked up on one of my clients the other day, someone that started recently, and they wanted to get into a little bit more of weight training. So I taught them a whole bunch of stuff, and they were off on their own, practicing the things that I told them. And then when I was checking in with them, they were saying that they were a little bit frustrated with some of the results that they were getting. And I asked them, okay, so how are you measuring results? Because it's always important for me to ask questions more than it is to give answers. One, because I want you guys to learn by sort of the same process, the Socratic questioning, but at the same time, it helps me to understand what you're actually asking or saying. Because sometimes the things that are being said are not the actual things, right? So, you know, what are you using to measure? Oh, just the weight. Oh, it's the weight on the scale. Are you using body fat? Are you using other measurements? No. Okay, so we don't know if we're actually seeing some changes. We're only seeing one number. We're not seeing if you doing more weight training is influencing the amount of muscle you have. Are you getting stronger? The answer was yes. Are you seeing some difference in your clothing fit? The answer was yes. So I'm like, okay, so we're actually doing better than you're saying right now. So tell me what you're actually frustrated about. And then we started to get into a conversation where their schedule has changed recently and they're not able to do the workout that we wanted to do. They had to cut it short. So there was a frustration that they felt like they weren't being able to do enough. And that was an interesting outcome of that conversation. But we had that conversation. We did a little bit of a reset. We planned a little bit. And then 2 weeks later, I noticed I hadn't seen them around in a while. I'm like, hey, where you been? Well, I'm really busy lately. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because recently you were telling me that you're frustrated with your results. And I mean, to me, if you're frustrated, sometimes that means you should double down in a way, right? You should do a little bit more. But this person was saying that they weren't coming in. I said, okay, why are you frustrated? Why are you not able to come in? Oh, I'm just busy, this, that, the other. It sounded like the frustration made them feel like they weren't succeeding, so they weren't no longer making the time that they wanted. It was almost like it was convenient that they were busy right after they were frustrated. And that's what sort of came to my mind. Like, isn't it convenient that we become busy when we're frustrated with what we're doing? We're thinking, okay, this is not working, so maybe I'm not going to put this effort in. And I'm too busy to do this thing because it's not showing the results I want it to show. Which is it's a rational output, right? It's a rational outcome to what's happening there. But really, ask yourself, like, are you actually busy? Or are you just frustrated? And if you're frustrated, let's adjust your expectations. Let's adjust your plan. Let's not give up on it altogether. And I think that's the default response. Okay, I'm not going to do it. It's not working too bad. I'm not going to do anything. And then you got even more frustrated, and then it becomes this vicious cycle. It's just fascinating for me. And I guess what I want to do here is have you question yourself. When you find yourself too busy to do the plan that you want to do, I want you to ask yourself, isn't that convenient? Is it because you're frustrated? Is there another reason that you're not finding the time that you were once finding? What are you telling yourself? That's the question I want you to explore when you're finding this frustration and finding that you're no longer having the time to do what you need to do. Don't pack it in. Don't give up. Don't write things off, because that's just, you have one flat tire and you're slashing all of the other 3 tires because you're frustrated. Think about that. Is that helpful?